December sale, 25% off on all audio courses, bundles of courses, and human design coaching one-on-one sessions. The code is December25. Use it on icreatelines.com. Peace, health, and abundance.
Yes, Sedona, one of the other meditators on Insight Timer, Bhante. I don't know if you ever do meditations or listen to talks with Bhante, but he does a retreat in Sedona.
Oh,
I
really?
think once a year, yeah, with a couple of his collaborators. And
How do you spell his
this year,
name?
Bhante. Bhante, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Sujata or something. It
Okay.
starts with an S. But he does the most wonderful loving kindness meditations.
Oh, that's great.
And he works with a lot of pregnant women. He loves to do meditations with pregnant women because,
Wow.
you know, that's the beginning of, you know, because he says they're growing the little Buddhas in their bellies. And when he talks about working with the women, the pregnant women, you just see his face, just, you know, I just love him. So.
I wanted to say about the Buddha guy that you mentioned, that he does work with pregnant women. So today I was listening to a podcast from this lady psychologist I follow on Instagram, and she got really deep into how, like, basically everything that the mother who's carrying the child is going through the pregnancy, everything gets imprinted. So when the mom finds out that she's gonna have a baby, if it's a surprise, like, how did she react to it? How did she speak to, let's say, her mom or her dad? Like, was it, oh my God, are we gonna have this baby or not? Is it gonna make us a lot of trouble or not? Is it like, was it fear? And then I kind of realized, oh, okay, like, all the people, including me, back in Croatia, that we were like 1991, the war, people running away, and then, you know, like smoking, drinking alcohol, just the stress, just the lack of support, let's say, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. And it really made me, you know, like, it made me be a lot softer on myself for many things that are just imprinted before you are even born. Before you even know how to speak, you kind of feel that these people maybe don't want you, or they don't know what to do, or they're choosing. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to say, this guy, if he's doing that, that's like what comes to mind, like pre-installing stuff before, you know, before software updates before it even comes out or something.
That's great.
I agree. I think that's the if you want to raise a generation of very balanced and wise individuals, you would start with the pregnant mamas. Start with them and let them be supported and balanced and at peace. And then there you go. The baby just gets the best possible launch. Just from a place of peace and balance. I mean, what else could come from that except even higher levels of peace and balance?
I recently just heard about the egg theory. Have you guys heard about that at all? Egg theory, speaking of embryos and birth and all that, it's I haven't really delved into it much, but from what I understand, it's something that I probably believe on a fundamental level. When I was, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years old, my mom was saying, oh, you got to eat your dinner because kids are starving in Ethiopia. You know, that was a big thing. And And I thought, well, why would I feel sorry for them? Because I am them. That's me one, either in a past, I didn't really know how to articulate it as an 8-year-old, but I
Yeah.
thought that's me in a different vibrational field or different timeline or reincarnation, either previous or future. So I thought that seemed a little condescending to feel sorry for someone for their experience. And that's kind of what the
Mm,
theory is. Like, everyone is you. We're just all embryos hatching and learning about ourselves. And then once we hatch, we become gods once we learn all of this stuff in here. So yeah, Google search egg theory and see what you guys think of that.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. I've read something recently as well about the different points we all are at our own experience, or the way it was put, how we're choosing to unfold that experience in a given time. You can't like feel sorry for someone that's almost the same as envying someone, from a different perspective. It's all just individual experiences. It doesn't mean to not have compassion or try to reach out and help where you can, but you can get yourself wrapped up in not even sending good energy out because of grief or sorrow, or feeling that too much on a negative
Right.
tone, I guess.
Yeah, then you're holding that sad vibration instead of the love vibration.
Yeah.
that's dope. I never looked at it that way, that it's like the opposite side of the coin of envy.
So keeping that joy and that good energy flowing is just the best way we can help everyone.
Is anyone going to be doing any traveling for the holidays? Is anyone going to be traveling? Yeah, I think you mentioned, Jolene, you're going to be out of town next week.
Yeah, it's just a 2-hour drive down to my sister's place. She's hosting, and we're going to see friends and my parents and my brother. So we'll all get together on Christmas Day for that.
That's nice that you're close enough to see all of your family like that.
Yeah.
It's great. Nobody has to get on airplanes.
It's human design. It's really made everything really smooth and loving, and it's really changed the dynamics of things.
Yeah, you were telling us in a previous meeting that it took them a little while to get used to you after you started practicing.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they didn't even know or would even recognize that changes were happening, but I recognized them. They were probably just business as usual, but I could see a difference in how everyone was acting and relating to each other. So it was fascinating to watch as I changed myself to watch myself observe the differences in them, even though they might not have noticed anything differently. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really like a layer, like a filter you suddenly have over your eyes, and the world is completely different.
And with my egg theory, I am just looking at myself in them. So they're reflections of different aspects within me. And so as I'm changing myself, I'm changing the outer world as well.
I like that. Yeah.
We all share so much more and can influence so much more than we believe.
I was on a Zoom call with some other like-minded people last week, and we were talking about how to affect the world by just, holding the golden circle and going globally with our energy and thinking thoughts and directing them to different places that are either war-torn or whatever, just to hold space. And it came up that we needed to come from a space of neutrality, because we all have our opinions and our that we put out there. So we all tried to become very neutral before we went into this meditation. And what I found with that meditation was that you don't just find your neutral. Neutral is a sliding scale of absolutely passive to active neutrality. And with passive neutrality, it's like, oh, everything's going to work out. I'm just going to sit back and just hold space, just be completely I don't want to say non-caring, but non-active anything. And the active neutrality would be more like where you try to send out energy and send out loving thoughts and there was such a sliding scale. So when I was trying to find my neutrality, I was like, okay, I have to find neutral within neutral. How's that? That could go on layer after layer. I'm like, how do you get to that ultimate neutrality? So that was kind of interesting.
Like active neutrality, I believe what comes to mind is I wish somebody is presented with the lesson they need the most, whether it's painful or it's good. I wish somebody gets what they need most at this time, whether it's like a small car accident that's going to change their life. They're going to survive. Their car is going to crash, but they're going to be like, what am I doing with my life? Or is it something beautiful? Like that's what I see as neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I have felt that spectrum before. Thank y'all. I didn't quite know how to put some words to that, because you do try to find that neutral space, and in a lot of times where you hear people speak of that is more singular and focused than what you described. So it makes it hard for you to, well, where do I find that spot? So I like that, Jody.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it. We have all of our different emotions, our different input, different opinions.
And it shifts also, as we get older, as we have different experiences that, maybe shape us even day to day sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
the grounds shift. So it's probably like an eternal dance to sort of kind of keep that neutrality.
And Lions, that's a really good point. What more could you hope for someone than to have an experience that is the best for them to grow or learn from or change in a positive way? Being a bit more narrow in the past to what I judged as good or bad for others.
Mm-hmm.
I remember even, now looking back, even praying for something for someone that would not have turned out to be good for them, but I thought it was.
That's how I spent my whole life. You should do this. I know what's best for you, and really need this. And you just thwart someone else's experience and their learning experience. If they jump into what you want and everything's fixed and you feel comfortable, the other person hasn't learned what they need to learn.
And they might become codependent on you to always show them what's next. I bet you guys resonate with parenting like that. It's like not letting the child learn how to tie their shoelaces, and then they always come to you to tie them. So
yeah, that it's not an easy place to be, to watch a child make a mistake or, have something happen that is difficult, but then they grow from that. And so it's important. So that is exactly true. My head is so much more open after the moves we did. It's like we were pulling our nose and rubbing our face, and I felt like air go up like behind my eyes, and I really felt the air going through my head, and it was like, ooh, it was almost like a little bit of a heady feeling, but it felt really good. So I really needed that. I probably should do those every day.
I was going to say, like, with the kidney stones, it's a whole lot easier for me to want to blame diet or not enough water or something like that. And Kay, you had mentioned how it's taken so long for her to be recognized, and even now not really mainstream, because everyone wants to look for that outside factor, that outside cause of what that ailment is. It's a whole lot easier to point the finger somewhere else.
That
Yeah.
Yes.
And then pulling the same direction is, of course, mainstream marketing and pharmaceuticals and everything else that is saying, yeah, you're right, it is something else, and let us give you something to fix that.
Yeah.
Fix symptoms instead of the cause.
Yeah,
And
take these. Take these pills. Your insurance covers it.
Yeah, and then we've got another pill for the side effects. It goes on. But like you said, with the, you want to blame diet or whatever, someone else could be eating the exact same diet, same amount of water, whatever, and not get the kidney stones. It's just your, I think, emotional issues that trigger your illnesses, for sure.
I also read, like, if at the moment of your dad making you, if he had kidney issues, then it's the genetics that we've been studying through human design and gene keys and everything. Like, you have certain predispositions. That's why, like, baldness is hereditary, certain illnesses are hereditary. Yeah, it's almost like when you go through a forest and there's a clearing in the forest and there's a path that everyone goes through that same path all over and over and over again. You inherit that one path, and if you don't change anything, you're gonna by default just gonna go the same way. But you don't have to. You don't have to be bald like your dad. You just have to eat everything differently, live a completely different life, express your emotions, live in another part of the world, have better friends. Yeah, everything basically.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, you just do it.
Simple.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's so easy we get rashes about it. It's so easy we're here detoxing our lives out.
That's so true.
We call that daily range in the heating and air conditioning business. And it actually affects the load on the structure, because as the heat starts to come through the wall, there's a stopping point. It doesn't make it all the way into the building, because as it cools off, literally it stops, it heads back out before it ever becomes a load on the building. And that sort of makes me think about the things you absorb as you're out and walking around, and if you can get somewhere to let go of that soon enough, or to change that external environment, it pulls it back out of you before it really gets in and starts to have an effect.
And that explains why it's very cold inside this building, because it's very stone structured, and then throughout the day, it, like you just explained, it doesn't penetrate deep enough to take effect. And if you ever find out how to make your aura or my aura like that, please tell me. That's my biggest thing in life, how to make it like that.
It's, yeah, you got to change that outside environment quick enough, I guess, so it pulls it back the other way. Auras are a lot quicker than insulation, though. You can't I think the reaction's a bit quicker. I know for me, like we were talking about last meeting, I can be around someone and it's almost immediate. I can absorb exactly what they've got going on almost immediately. If I'm in close enough range. And still trying to do what I told you I was going to do last week, and just go out with compassion and love and understanding. And I think that worked for me till about Wednesday. So Wednesday and Thursday I was not very good in you know, public apologies to Kay as well, and since then I've been better.
We all have a cap. I feel the same way like you do. Like, I'll find a way to be this, and then after a few days, I'm maxed out. It like we're also human. Like, and Jesus also had his own capacity, I believe. He wasn't. He also had his days off where he was like, okay, let me just. You guys are fine, but let me just go and chill out.
Yeah, and you read that he would go out to the wilderness quite a bit by himself.
Oh, really?
Yes. So he had to have that time. But like all of us, you know, just yeah, had some of the same emotions. Don't know if you recall the story about the fig tree, but he walked by a fig tree and it was hungry and it wasn't producing, so he cursed it. And later when they walked back by, it had shriveled up and died. So I guess that he got hangry as well a little bit.
Maybe after the 40-day fast, like, who wouldn't be?
Maybe. Lots of good examples of just what we need is in us, and all of us from the newest children to the most enlightened have a lot in common.
That's why we're still in human form, still learning.
Yes, in exile here.
Good lessons today.
Mm.
Really good lessons.
Well, between the movement class, Dennis, as well as our meeting today, you guys have, which I don't know if you can tell still through the window, it's that cold, rainy day here, but you guys have made me feel much warmer.
Mm.
You know, being able to spend some time today.
Likewise.
Likewise. Peace, health, and abundance. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe, like, leave a comment below, ask a question, or share your story. Check out my audio courses: Human Design Basics, Intermediate and Advanced, Human Design Projector Masterclass, and Elemental Balancing course. You can listen to the first lesson of each course for free. Once purchased, stream as much as you like and learn at your own pace. Check out the testimonials from happy students. Join the League of Wanderers community. You can join on the weekly community and support calls. You can book one-on-one personal human design reading and coaching calls with me. You can join us on the Insight Timer app for stress release movement classes and Q&A sessions. There is a newsletter you can sign up for, and there are my free ebooks to download. My merch web shop is available if you would like to get my original artwork and designs printed on a variety of high-quality products. You can also contact me for commissions and graphic design work. Last but not least, you can follow me on Instagram. All the mentioned services and offerings can be found on icreatelines.com, and also check out the description of the video for more details. If you have any questions of any kind, if you would like to collaborate, if you want to come on a podcast, or you have suggestions and feedback, don't hesitate to contact me. I wish everyone peace, health, and abundance.